Can we please have a mic for Sonam? Okay, guys, so while we're readying for the fireside chat, very important that you guys know that soon after this chat, we're going to have a photo opportunity for each one of you. We'll call out group numbers. Would request you to please come up on stage by group number for a picture. And do not come out if your group number is not called. She's not going anywhere. She's right here. I would really like Team Kid Stop Press to just spread out and make sure that you guys are in charge of your teams. Sonam, do you want to test if your mic's on?
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Brilliant.
All right. Okay, so Sonam, you've obviously done this like a zillion times.
I don't know if I've done this a zillion times, but I've done it enough.
Okay, so I'm the nervous one. So I'm the nervous one. Thank you so much for being here today. You
Thank you, Mansi.
absolutely look
Thank you so much.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody first up is very, very excited. You're literally doing this for the first time after...
No, I did I've done one or two things, but I've just moved back to Bombay with my husband.
Finally.
Finally, yeah. We were in London for a couple of years, and we've decided to move back because we want our child to be around his grandparents, both sides. So yeah, I'm back in Mumbai and I'm back at work.
That is definitely good news for all of us. So that means we get to see you a lot more now.
Yeah, hope so.
All right. So very quickly, sometimes before we receive the big good news or bringing the most precious gift, can we please request the media to settle down? We cannot start like this. Sorry about that.
Not at all.
I'm sure you're used to it. Sometimes before we receive the good news about bringing a child into this world, we have so many questions that run through our mind. What were yours? And how did you address them?
So my husband and I got married right before the pandemic, and we wanted to take 2 years just to enjoy our married life and, just have a good time before we decided to, we wanted to have a child. And I remember it was January of 2020, New Year's. And we were like, okay, I think this is the year that we're going to try and have a child. And obviously, the pandemic happened, and we got scared, and we just decided that we could wait till the pandemic was over. Even though I don't know if everybody remembers at that time, we didn't know when or how, and it was quite scary, especially the beginning of the pandemic. So it started settling down by the end of the year, but then the second wave happened in India, which was again pretty scary. And so again, we decided to delay it a little bit. We were seeing all sorts of scary things happening to women and to older people and parents and children, etc., with comorbidities. Again, we decided to wait, and then we said, okay, I think it's enough. Let's try. And that's when, but in this time, I was doing a lot of research. I was reading a lot about fertility, about what are the right things to take, how to eat, the kind of lifestyle you need to lead. And I realized that I needed to, more than anything else, I needed to lead a very stress-free lifestyle. And yes, and the supplements and sleeping on time and eating right and all of those things come in, and they play a huge part as well. So I'm very happy that Prega News is taking a more holistic and a full approach to pregnancy.
Right. I love how, as women, we're so accurate about the dates in our lives. No?
Yes.
We just know all the dates that things happen, like you mentioned, the New Year's that we decided. Do you think ovulation tracking is important?
It's very important because contrary to what we were told or we know from I don't know, that you just can't get pregnant in every day of the month. There are some days where you're more fertile, and and everybody's ovulation. I mean, a doctor will tell you this, but because as moms we know, because we've tried. You try to get pregnant. Everybody's ovulation date is different, so it's not the same day for everyone. Like everybody doesn't have a 30-day cycle or a 28-day cycle. I have a 32-day cycle. Some people have a 28-day cycle. Some people even go up to 35 days. And those 5 days when you're ovulating, before and after the ovulation, are those 5 days when you're the most fertile. And an ovulation tracker is your best friend at that point, because those are the 5 days where you are most likely to get pregnant.
Right.
So I did use an ovulation tracker with an app to get pregnant. There was a app called I don't remember the app right now, but there's a really good app that I had, which I would check my temperature and then pee on a stick to know am I ovulating or not ovulating. So yes, it was my best friend. So I'm so glad that they're coming up with, they have these beautiful ovulation trackers.
Right. You mentioned about eating healthy, eating right, leading a more holistic life. Tell me, apart from the supplements of the obvious, which is iron, folic acid, what were the other supplements that were important, and how did you include it in your diet and meal plan?
So honestly, I spoke to an amazing doctor called Dr. Gauri, and she's a Tamilian, and she's from India, but she lives in London right now, and she used to be an OBGYN with the NHS in the UK, and she's as Indian as like when you meet her, you think she's like the sweetest old Indian auntie who's giving you the best advice. And but she's a brilliant doctor. She was the first one to come up with water births in the UK, but she was a surgeon, and she decided that we should have, like in India we prefer natural births, but everywhere else in the world they go straight away for a C-section. So she told me that we have to eat the Indian way, which is a full, like we have all these like new things where we're doing like high protein and this and that. She's like, you just have to eat a balanced anti-inflammatory diet, which is basically Indian khana, which is, roti, bhaji, dal. If you're non-vegetarian, then a chicken or a fish and dahi. And I just had a balanced meal, and I was walking, and I was doing a little bit of exercise, and I was taking my supplements. And just being simple and not going crazy on like crazy diets really helped my health, and I had a great pregnancy. And
we saw that.
Yeah, I had a great pregnancy. I put on a lot of weight, but I had a great pregnancy, and because I just kept it easy and simple, and I wasn't eating sugar or like the gond ke laddus and all of that your moms give you. I was just eating normal khana.
Right. The most magical moments, and I think if you ask any mother, what are the most magical moment of your life that kind of transforms you, is when you see those two pink lines. What was that moment for you like?
I think as soon as I delivered my baby and he was in my arms, I think it was one of the best things that I felt, because you have this like euphoria as well, especially after you deliver. I had a natural birth, mostly drug-free as well. So it was an amazing moment, because my husband was next to me, and my doctor was one of my mom's close friends, and I'd grown up with her. And so I just people who I loved were around me, and then my parents were there, and my sister was there, and my in-laws were there, and it was just the best moment of my life. I think it's life-changing, right, when you have a child.
You just mentioned that I put on a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I have to ask you this, because each one of us sees a different version of ourselves, right? You suddenly start feeling uncomfortable with that same body who has the ability to nurture and, prepare for childbirth. you also had to play your part of being a Bollywood actor. You were part of so
Yeah.
many covers. How was it experience to be part of all of these photo shoots, being constantly shot, but not in your body that your older avatar?
So I never, as soon as I delivered my child, my main focus was taking care of him and then taking care of myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't, oh, I need to lose my weight in like 2 months or 3 months. I've taken one whole year to lose all my weight. I did it slowly, I did it steadily, and I made sure that I was present. And a lot of moms go through postnatal depression, and you feel like you're in somebody else's body. Once you deliver, you feel like your stomach is going to go back in, but it's still there. And you feel, oh, my body's going to look the same after I deliver my child. And then you realize your child is only like 3.5 kgs, and all the other weight is just you. And but I didn't go on a crash diet. I didn't do any of those things because I used to be a very big girl in when I was younger, and through a lot of hard work, I have realized that you have to love yourself no matter what, no matter the stretch marks, no matter the weight fluctuations, no matter what. As long as you're healthy mentally and physically, that's all that matters. And you will eventually feel like yourself, and nobody should be in any rush to get anywhere. And, the media has a lot of good qualities, and so do a lot of actors. We have a lot of good qualities, but we're also desperate to get back into shape and get back to work. And that puts a bad precedent for mothers who are not in the same profession as us. And I didn't want to set that example.
I'm so glad that you
So
said that.
I made sure that I was seen
Can
through
we
my
have a
weight.
huge round of applause for that one, guys? If icons such as her start doing that, it really takes off the pressure.
Yeah, and I was like, it doesn't matter. I will be photographed no matter what size I am after my pregnancy. So I did a couple of events, and I didn't shy away from my size. I didn't shy away during my pregnancy when I gained that weight. And I gained that weight because, I don't know, some people gain that weight. I wasn't eating anything extra. So it's just that some people don't gain any weight
Yeah.
during pregnancy. They
I
gain
don't know
like
who
6 or
those
7
women are.
kgs. But some people, my mom gained 25 kgs with each child. So
Okay, I'm going to do a quick check here.